Everyone, it's John again, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, with another 10-ish-minute movie review. I'm excited about this one. I watched it. It's a sci-fi time travel movie, and the film is 24. This was recommended to me by a viewer who knows my taste in movies. You guys are starting to figure that stuff out, which is great. So I was excited to watch this. Now, before I get to the review, as always, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and as always, smash the like button, whether it's in the past, present, or future. Hit that like button. You see what I did? All right, let's talk about 24. It's written and directed by Vikram K. Kumar. This is a Tamil film. It stars Suriya, who I never saw before. At least I don't think I have. And I have to tell you, very impressed with him. Now, this is a 2016 movie, so I'm not going to spoil anything. He plays three roles in this film: the twin brother and the father, and his own father. And he was great. I mean, three distinct personalities of each character. And usually they do. When you play more than one character, you do twitches or tweaks or ticks or whatever. It wasn't like that. And it was really good. In fact, it's difficult to tell it's the same guy, to be honest with you. And it's not like they used prosthetics to make him look really different. But the way he carries himself, the hair, they do stuff with the hair, but his voice, just great. Thought he was great in this. Samantha Ruth Prabhu, who's from Family Man. I've seen episode 1 of that. Nithya Menen and Ajay Mithran, amongst others. So this film basically is about a scientist who creates a watch that it's a time machine. And that's the whole premise of the movie. And his twin brother is just evil, like evil incarnate, looks evil. And in the opening of the movie, he basically wipes everybody out except Suriya as a baby, who survives. Mani is his name. And that's how the movie starts. And then there's a scene on a train where the father tricks the bad guy and makes him think that the baby's crib or cocoon, whatever you want to call it, is a bomb. So this guy jumps off the train over a bridge. Now, I read something about this actor who likes to do his own stunts, and apparently he did this stunt jumping off the train into what, I have no idea. But if you see the height of it, it was a pretty big jump. Well, the result of that jump is he's in a coma for 26 years, the bad guy. And that's where the film picks up, where Manny, who's lost his mother and his father and is adopted by a woman on the train that he did not know, is now a watch mechanic. And that, not a watchmaker, a watch mechanic. Because one line he says throughout the movie is, "I'm a watch mechanic. This is child's play." That's something that's done over and over and over again. And there's also an opening scene. I'm sorry, I always do this. I'm jumping around. But when the father hadn't perfected the time machine watch yet, and there's a scene where this bird flies in and a feather comes off the bird and lands in this solution that's in the lab, that's some kind of magic feather. Now, through that, the thing now works. That's when the bad guy comes in, and because he wants the watch. But the magic feather happens, which happens more than once. The laboratory where the father is inventing this thing was beautiful. It was just a beautiful set, and it was shot. The cinematographer shot it in like a golden hue. It was really beautiful. And then it starts off the way Manny's mother gets killed. The bad guy strangles her, but then puts his foot down on her head and snaps her neck. It was I was like, wow, this is kind of a brutal science fiction movie. So that was surprising. And then there's a big escape through a tunnel that was very cool. Like a secret room with a chair on has wheels that goes down a track. Very cool scene. Very cool set too. So now we cut back. Now we're cutting to the present, where Manny is the watch mechanic, and you find out a little bit about him. and they introduce the girl, and what the heck was her name? Uh, Sathya. Sathya was her name, I think. I think it's Sathya. Um, and they so once he get so okay, I'm screwing this plot up big time. The magic watch, the time machine watch, was hidden with the kid in a box that you need a special key. That the only one who had the key was the bad guy. Eventually, the key, very fortuitously, shows up directly in front of the box that Manny has never been able to open in his whole life. He opens up the box, finds the watch, and within a matter of minutes, he's mastered time and space. That was a little unbelievable, but if you've got a watch that can bring you through time, I guess nothing's unbelievable. So now he's figured out the watch, and that the way he figures it out and the way he uses it is really interesting. In fact, there's one scene where he freezes time and it's raining, and he starts messing with the water droplets. I thought that was a really cool scene. Now he meets the girl, his love interest, right? And through the course of, and he uses his time to, they go back and forth with that. But there's a scene where he stains her dress, so she can't wear this dress using the time watch. So he offers his mother had a dress that she was going to give to his bride when they got married. So he lets her wear it. Well, the scene where she comes down the stairs in this sari, a pink sari, she was just absolutely beautiful, just gorgeous the way they shot it. And he falls head over heels in love with her, which I love. The other scene, there's a scene where they're sitting with a bunch of kids, and there's an Indian cricket match, and the Indian team needs a six to win, and the ball is hit, and it could be a six if it goes over, but the guy catches it, and all the kids are depressed, and the girl says, "Oh, I wish they would have been so happy if India won." Well, he stops time, goes to the cricket match, moves the ball away from the guy who would have caught it, and that scene was really cool because the whole stadium is frozen. And he's walking through the stands, and they're frozen. And then he comes running back to where the kids were, and he can't, he's out of breath. And what's going on? And he also got caught on TV, so she doesn't know what's going on. And there's a whole scene with that he says, "You're in love with me because you're seeing me everywhere." I thought that was really cute. The second song they do, which is a love song, I didn't understand why it had no subtitles, because I know that in these movies the songs always mean something, the lyrics always mean something, and this one, the other song had subtitles, this one didn't, so I don't know what the gist was of it. I assume it's just a love song. Now the bad guy comes out of the coma and figures out that this kid or someone has the real watch. So he comes up with the Willy Wonka golden ticket, where if you bring this watch, you're going to win all this money. Well, that's how they find the watch. That's how they find Monty. And then the scene, and this was unexpected. The scene where he confronts Manny, the evil brother who's in a wheelchair and looks decrepit, shoots him like 6 times. Then to get the watch as he's falling out of a building, cuts his hand off from the elbow. So I was like, wow, unexpected. I didn't see that coming. Now, because it's a time travel movie, you can figure out that, that's not really what's going to happen. But the back and forth, the cat and mouse between the brother and Manny is kind of interesting. And then he pretends to be his real father to trick him into fixing the watch. Because here's the thing that I really like. He gets a hold of the watch, the bad guy, and realizes that the reason why it's called Project 24, you can only go 24 hours to the past or the future. You can't go more than that. Well, his issues happened 26 years ago, so that doesn't help him. But he figures that the kid is so good with mechanics, he'll figure out a way to allow them to go back 26 years to prevent what happened to him. I really like that. That was a good little plot twist, and that was a good reveal. Now, through the course of this, there's another song, another love song. And the only reason why I bring up the song was okay, but the location that they shot the song in, I don't know where that was, but it was such a neat looking place, like something I haven't seen before. And it was just really cool. And so I only bring it up because of the location and the way it was shot. The song was all right. So now at the end of the movie, it's a confrontation between the bad guy and Mani. Mani tricks him in that scene in the church where he gives the bad guy the watch to prevent him from killing everybody, right? Well, that was just a ploy. He uses the watch to go back 26 years to save his mother and father, and the bad guy jumps on the watch. They all go back 26 years. And here's the thing I really like. The bad guy went back as his younger, more virile self, right? So definite threat. Mani went back as a baby, not as Mani as his age back in time. I like that because it's like, okay, now what do they do? And the way they solved it with the father figuring out what was going on, I really did like that. I like the fact that the watch dies. It doesn't. It needs to be an electrical charge to recharge, and that needed to happen at a certain point in the movie where the his Mani's real father was going to die, and it called back to the first scene in the film where a bird hit some wires that knocked down on the ground. That's the wires he used to recharge the watch, stop time, prevent the bad guy from killing him, and actually using the frozen time to kill the bad guy. I really liked that. And finally, the thing I liked was at the end, they show Manny and what's her name again, Sathya, as children, starting to form the bond that you think would mean they're going to be together in the future, like they fell in love in the one timeline. Now the mother and father is alive, so they've got their kid. The mother who adopted Mani, who lost her family, we assume found her family. So as far as a time travel movie goes, I did like the time travel elements of this film. Now, having said that, there's a few things that I'm going to call out. The time elements I really liked. The goofy, funny love story didn't fit with the time travel aspect of the movie, which was very serious and almost very dark, right? So I didn't like that. A little too much whiplash for me. I love the time element of it and the battle between the bad guy and the good guy. The goofy, and I don't mean their love story was goofy, but some of the stuff they did while they were developing that relationship was just goofy. And it didn't fit with the rest of the film. The other thing I thought that was a big miss. This bad guy is a genius, right? He's brilliant. He's outsmarting Manny every step of the way throughout this film, except for one thing. And the reason why Manny knew that this guy who was pretending to be his real father wasn't his father was his father had 6 fingers. Okay? And he looks at a photo of his real father and sees that. That's when he knows the other guy isn't really his father. Okay. They're twins. So you're telling me that this genius did not know that his brother, his twin brother, had 6 fingers and he didn't. Holy convenient plot twist, Batman. Right, chum. Yeah, that didn't work for me. And finally, the other thing I didn't understand, and I need someone to explain this to me, the bird. The bird fortuitously dropped magic feathers at certain points in the movie. And the reason was to move the plot forward. But I don't understand. They never explained it. They never said why. It was just this magic bird. So that I thought was kind of silly and didn't make any sense. So I don't get it. So if you know, please let me know in the comment section. And the last thing I'll say is the lead actor. I said this at the beginning. I thought he was fantastic. When he was the young guy, very likable, funny, kicked ass when he had to. As the old villain, just creepy with his voice. I don't know. He did something with his voice. It was really deep. And he because he was a cripple, he was like, he's all, oh, it was great. And then when he played his father, it's funny the way he played these roles. Like the father looked shorter than the twin brother and the son. And it was because the guy it wasn't like he hunched over a lot, but he hunched over enough that it changed his height. And the facial expressions were different too. So you really couldn't tell it was the same person. And I mean that. I thought he was just wonderful, and I'd like to see him in some other stuff. One other thing I'll say about the negative. It's not really a negative, but they've changed the entire timeline. So how does that affect the future? Because time travel movies, once you affect something in the past, the butterfly effect, it ruins everything in the present. That's a movie I'd like to see. How did him going back in the past, correcting that wrong, change the time-space continuum? Huh? I'm throwing that out there. All right. Anyway, that's my review. If you like sci-fi, check this movie out. I think you'll like it. Again, forget some of the other stuff. The time travel elements and that whole cat and mouse I really enjoyed. So thanks for that recommendation. Really good film. Okay, the movie. Oh, by the way, that should get you to subscribe. Hit the notification button, and I'm not even gonna say it. Okay, so the movie I'm gonna review for my next 10-minute review. A few people have commented that we're not doing any Telugu movies, and I'm not really familiar with a lot of those movies. But I got a recommendation for a film called Jersey from 2019, which is also a cricket movie. So that's the one I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch this Telugu movie, Jersey, and let you know what I think about it. So those of you that have been waiting for that on the big show, I'm going to try to get to it sooner than that. Okay, so check that out. That'll be after this one drops. Okay, so everybody, thanks for watching again. I really appreciate it. The comments, when we do the polls, you guys are all engaged. I want you to know how much I appreciate it. It really does make a big difference. And I enjoy doing these, and I think you guys enjoy watching them too. So I appreciate that too. All right. So I'll see you. I'll drop this in a couple of days. Wait a minute. Let me just. Okay. Is it today? No, it's tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you next time.